where dreams collide. Sarah's voice, a gentle guide through the realms of time and space. She takes us to a sacred place.
Yes. What's your very first impression?
I'm at this like farm in this like field.
Tell me more about it.
It's like in this valley. It's like very green ground. There's like this little cottage. It's like this little cottage, and seems like a farm.
Tell me about the cottage. How would you describe it?
There's a wooden fence around it, and it's like a wooden cottage. Kind of seems like it's made out of logs.
Oh wow, what's all around the cottage?
A lot of greenery. It's like very green in this valley. There's like a lot of mountains around too.
Do you notice any smells?
It smells very fresh, like fresh creek water, fresh.
Do you hear anything there?
Kind of just like the peaceful sounds of like nature. Sort of like in the mountaintop. It's weird because we're in like this valley.
If you look down or sense or feel, can you see feet? If you look down, do you have feet there?
Yeah.
What do they look like?
Little kids' feet.
Are you wearing anything on your feet?
No. Just barefoot.
What color does your skin look like?
It actually seems really pale.
Look up your body. What are you wearing on your body there?
I feel like I'm wearing like a burlap sack or like something made out of like cloth. Looks like homemade clothes.
If you touch it, what does it feel like?
It feels like cotton cloth. It's a little bit stiff.
What about the rest of you? What else are you wearing?
It's kind of like this thing, then I have like a sash tied around me, around my waist, or like around across my shoulder.
Oh, okay, I see. And does your body feel healthy or not?
Relatively okay.
Do you get the sense as to how you spend your time in this place?
I think I just play around.
Tell me
in nature. Like play in the creeks, around the farm. Just like exploring around in like the mountains.
Tell me about that. What is that like for you?
Pretty carefree. Yeah, life seems very, like, just so peaceful. And just, I don't really have much worries.
Let's go to that place where you live in this place. Go to where it is that you live there and be there now. What is your home like?
like a cabin. And everything's very like homey. It's very like handmade. It's kind of small, but very cozy.
Does it look like you live there by yourself, or does it look like you might live there with others?
It kind of seems like, or feels like I should live there with like other people, but it just feels like I'm by myself.
Go to when you have a meal in this place. What is that like?
It's like a big cauldron of like a big pot over like a fire. And we're eating like a stew.
Tell me more about that. Does it look like you eat this alone or with others?
I feel like there's supposed to be others here, but I just feel like I'm by myself.
I say, okay. And the stew, do you notice how it tastes or smells?
Mm-hmm. It's like a borscht.
Like what?
It's like a borscht.
Oh, okay.
Like there's just kind of like everything in there.
Okay. And so you spend your time playing, basically, in nature.
Yeah, and doing chores, like doing things that need to be done.
Tell me about your chores. What are your chores?
Get water, pick vegetables, do things for around. Mainly like gathering stuff.
How do you get water? What is that like for you?
There's like a creek. Yeah, there's kind of like a babbling creek, and then just like carry waters and pails back. There's also like a water pump thing that I can like get water from.
Oh, where is this pump?
It's by the house, but I don't know why sometimes I still carry water back from the creek.
Do you get a sense why you do that?
Sometimes the water runs out.
Oh, I see. What are your pails like that you use?
Do you like these wooden buckets? They're kind of really heavy.
Oh, wow. So you spend your time doing chores, and sometimes picking vegetables? How do you do that? Where do you pick the vegetables?
It's mostly like foraging for like wild stuff. I don't think our garden has grown very well yet. It's mostly like picking stuff in the wild.
What sort of things do you notice you get?
A lot of flowers. Which I don't think are edible.
Oh. But you pick them?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you put them?
I tie them in bundles like around the house. And I make like jewelry from it.
Oh, I see. Interesting. And do you get a sense if you spend time with anyone else? Do you have interactions with anyone else there?
It
Good.
seems like I should, but it just feels like I'm there by myself.
Let's see. Go to when you have an interaction with someone else and be there now. What do you notice?
They're all very busy doing stuff.
What are they doing?
Like manual labor stuff around the fields and the properties and stuff. I think everybody's just really busy.
What do they look like?
The men are all like wearing like brown, like work clothes. And the women they have like white aprons on. Some have like some head coverings, like bonnets on. They just seem like the rambunctious kid that's just running around everywhere, just playing.
Wow, I see. And I see. And so the men are working and Kit, you're just running around. Do you go to any type of school or anything like that, or no?
There is, but I think most of the time people are like doing stuff like either for the village or for the family, so school's not really like super important.
Oh, okay. I see. Tell me about this village. Have you been to the village?
It's kind of like a really small village, and I guess this would be kind of our community, but it's not even really like a real village. It's just a couple people or families that all just happen to live in this one valley.
Oh, okay. What does it look like around you if you look all the way around you?
It looks like there's like green cliffs like all around on the left and right side, and we just happen to be like living in like the center of this valley. But like to the left and right is just these cliffs that go all the way up to the sky, and they look like huge great mountains.
Wow. And do you get a sense or feeling of what the temperature feels like there? Is it warm or cool?
It feels very crisp, like very cool.
I see. So you spend your time mostly doing chores, and everybody else seems very busy doing manual labor. Is there anything else you notice about this that looks important or interesting to you?
It's very quiet. Not a lot of people talk.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I feel lonely as a kid.
Tell me about this.
Because there's not a lot of people to play with. And I'm just by myself most of the time.
What are your feelings?
I feel like I wish there were more people to play with. Or to do things with. I feel like I play make-believe a lot by myself.
Do you have a favorite make-believe thing to do?
I feel like I always like to pretend like a princess in like a faraway land. Although where I live feels like a faraway land too.
Wow. Okay, let's leave that scene and let's move ahead in time in that same lifetime to where something important is happening and be there now. What's the very first thing that you notice?
Just like some type of like conflict. I'm like older now. Kind of like maybe getting into like my 20s. Still really young.
What sort of conflict? Tell me about this.
It's like people are like looking for something. I don't know what they're looking for.
What makes you say that they're looking for something?
So they come on like a horseback and they're They have like this torch and they're like asking people questions. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows.
I see. So there's people on horseback looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
What do these people on horseback look like?
They kind of don't look like they're from here. They're kind of dressed like with furs and like really warm. Definitely not from around here. But they're like looking for something or someone. And I feel like this is like my chance to like go explore.
Really? Tell me about that.
Yeah, like I don't think I envision myself living here or doing this every day because it just seems a little monotonous. I want some like adventure in my life.
And so you said that you feel like this is your chance. What do you do?
I think I volunteer to help them.
Tell me about this.
Like I volunteer to like go with them to do whatever they're doing, and I can see myself like riding a horse and like going with them. And I feel excited. I don't feel sad to leave.
What happens next? What is it like to get on that horse? And
It's very freeing. I can feel the wind. It just feels exciting, like my life is about to begin.
well, it's exciting. And what are these people like on the horse?
They're kind of rough around the edges, but they seem okay.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
I go with them.
Tell me more about that.
I go with them to like another castle, like also in this place that has like a lot of greenery, a lot of mountains around. I think we're like looking for something. But I'm not sure what it is they're looking for. I don't even think they know.
And there's a castle.
Mm-hmm.
What does this castle look like?
Stone castle. Seems really like cold inside.
Really? Tell me about it.
I thought I would like living in a castle, but I actually don't like living in that castle.
Why? What do you notice?
It's just too cold. I think maybe I'm more used to like the log cabin, but it just feels too cold and like sounds just echo too much. And it feels even more lonely in a castle.
What do you do in this castle? Do you have a place where you stay, or how is that?
I do have a room that they let me live in. And there's like a canopy bed. And it's really nice, but I don't think we're going to stay here very long.
I see. What happens next?
I don't think they find what they're looking for. So we keep moving on to like other places. I don't even think they know what they're looking for.
Do you get a sense what they say they're looking for? Or why they're looking for it? Have they told you?
No. I think they think they're looking for like a cup.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think it's actually a cup.
What do you think it is?
I don't actually think it's a thing.
Oh.
I think they're like trying to search for something that they think is a thing. It's not really a thing.
I see. I see. So they decide they couldn't find it and they're in the castle, or you're in the castle, and then what happens?
We move on to another place.
Tell me about this. What is this other place like?
We go to like a bunch of places in between now and to try to get to the next place, but I don't really like this part of the adventure because it's more rough. It's like the places we stay in are not as nice. They're more kind of like inns. Like the places are not so clean. I'm starting to realize this adventure is not all fun. And like not as nice as like the place I came from. I guess people are just not as nice here.
Tell me about these people. What are they like, these people in this inn?
They kind of seem very like primitive, kind of just like very rough around the edges, and the men are kind of harsh. They're not very nice to women. Now I'm kind of regretting that I went on the trip that I've already committed. I don't even really know what I'm doing.
I see. And what happens next?
I think they don't even know what to do next. I think they've like searched all over for this thing that someone told them a story about. But it might have just been a story.
Tell me about the other people that you were going with.
They're nice. There's like this man with kind of like longish hair and a decent person. I think he was like sent on this mission by someone to like retrieve something. But he doesn't even know what he's looking for.
And this one guy has long hair. What about everyone else?
All the men sort of have longish hair. Like,
what about you now? How would you describe yourself now?
I also have long hair, but my hair is a lot longer, like down to my waist. And I think I have like brown hair.
What do you wear now on your body?
Like a dress, like a simple dress that's like very like loose and flowy, not very tight. So it makes it really easy to like move around and like run and ride horses and stuff.
So they feel like they don't really know where to go next because they're not really sure what they're looking for. And someone sent them on this mission, but no one really knows.
Yeah. And it kind of seems like now they're just gonna pick their next adventure.
What do they decide?
Now they don't really know where to go or what to do, and they don't want to go back empty-handed. And they question if people would even believe that they're still alive. there's no way to there's no way to know.
What happens next?
I just have this like strong urge to go somewhere else. Like somewhere else, like super exotic and totally different, because like even this place is very similar to like where I grew up. I just want to see something like different.
What do you do?
There's a lot of reason I keep wanting to like go to India.
Tell me about this. Do you go or no?
I don't know, it honestly feels like another lifetime. It just feels like I have this like draw to that place, and I don't even know why. I've never even been there.
What about the rest of your crew?
I think like me and that main guy kind of sort of like end up like becoming together.
Oh, tell me about that.
And then we kind of just like go off by ourselves, since everybody doesn't even know if we're alive or not. You know, we're all like grown people.
And how do you feel about this guy?
I feel good. I think it's like my first experience really with anybody, because I kind of was just by myself when I was growing up. He seems pretty kind. It's very normal.
Where do you guys go? Where do you go next?
I think we like settle in this one town.
I see.
It's a very ordinary, normal life.
Tell me about this.
And I don't think I'm very happy about the ordinariness.
How do you spend your time in this in the ordinary life that you settled in?
Very humdrum stuff. Just cleaning the house, buying food, cooking, reading, staring out the window. The town seems very monotone and like in color, and just very depressing.
Tell me about the town.
There's not a lot of like tall buildings. It's very brown and white, and like cobblestone floors. And life is very mundane.
And how do you spend your time there? What do you do? Do you have a role or any sort of job there?
No. I think I just exist. No, we just exist side by side.
I see. Is there anything you notice that you do for fun there or no?
I like to read a lot. I like to read a lot. I like adventure books. They're always about like adventure, about like going off to like a far away place.
What happens next?
I don't think anything significant happens.
Okay, let's leave that scene and move ahead in time, in that same lifetime, to where something else important is happening, and be there now. What do you notice now?
There's like some sort of conflict or some sort of like war. And I think I'm like helping some people. Some people that are like hiding or like running from something. I think I like hide them in my house.
Tell me about this.
I don't know these people, but it seems like they're scared.
Do they look different at all from you or no?
Yes.
What do they look like?
They're like dressed differently.
Like how?
I think they've been traveling a really long time. So they kind of all look very like tired and haggard. They're like nomadic people and they just go from like place to place. But I think there's some type of like conflict or something and they're like being rounded up. Because they think that these people are like bad or something, but they're not really bad, they're just different.
I see, so you let them stay at your house?
Yeah, they're like more like brown people, whereas like I'm like white.
I see. What is it like to have them stay at your house?
Feels good. I like to like take care of people, like finally have someone to like do something for besides my husband.
Tell me more about these people that are darker in color.
They're like a family. It's like a mom and a dad, and they have a child. They just seem like nice people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really speak the same language though.
Oh, really? What do you do about that?
I don't know. I just do stuff for them and just use like our hand signals to like communicate and also like do like laughter.
And what happens next?
I think I'm pretty good at hiding them so they don't get caught.
So you're pretty good at hiding them?
Mm-hmm. Like really good at like talking to other people and stuff to like make them think otherwise. And then I help them to like get out of that place.
How do you do that?
I find them like a boat. I made them like a knapsack of stuff. I sent them along their way.
Tell me more.
This makes me happy. It's like gives me a purpose in this life. I don't know why I don't have children, but maybe it's because I can't or something, but I don't have kids. And I feel like I want to like take care of something, even if it's like a dog or something.
I see.
I just feel this like emptiness.
I see. Do you get a sense as to what happens next?
I think I get really restless. I get really restless from all the emptiness. And then every time I get like that, my mind starts to wander. I also think about leaving on the boat too. But where would I go?
Okay, let's leave that scene and move ahead in time in that same lifetime to where something else important is happening, and be there now. What do you notice now?
I get captured. And I get locked up in a dungeon.
Why did you get captured, or how did you get captured?
I don't even really know. Just people just came into our like house one day and just took me.
And they put you in a dungeon?
Yeah.
What is this dungeon like?
It's cold, damp. It's like stones on the floor. And I don't have any shoes and I hate it.
How do you spend your time there?
It's not very long that I stay there.
Tell me about this.
I get like moved from like place to place. And I think they find out that I've been like doing stuff or like helping people. So they keep interrogating me. Keep asking questions. But the people are long gone anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I answer. So I just say random things.
I see. But they keep moving you?
Yeah, because they don't believe me. They keep trying to make me like admit to something that I don't feel like I necessarily did.
I see.
Because I don't think what I did was wrong.
Right. What happens next?
I think I die.
Tell me about this. Go to the last moment of your life there. Be there now. What makes it the last moment? How do you die?
I think I'm like hung or something, some type of public execution. I can't make out what type it is, but something public. There's like people like throwing rocks at me and stuff.
Let your soul leave the body, and you could see it now from an observer. What do you see as an observer? How did you die?
Well, actually, I'm like tied up. I'm like tied up with my hands behind my back to like this like fire thing. It's not lit, but there's like it's like this conal shaped thing with all these logs, and I'm like tied to it, and I'm still wearing my dress with the white apron, and my hair is like braided. They keep wanting me to like admit to this thing, but I won't admit to it because I don't feel like I've done anything wrong.
And how do you leave that life? How do you die there?
People are like throwing rocks at me, and I think they just really hate women here. Yeah, it's like not a very friendly place. And my husband is kind of useless because he kind of can't do anything for me. He's also afraid to like speak out or to say anything. Yeah, I think I die because it's either I'm like hung on this thing and then I get burned, or I just get burned. Either way, yeah, it's like a very public spectacle. I don't feel bad about it.
From the other side, as your soul is outside of the body, is there anything else that you notice about how you died that looks interesting or important?
It's like a really big fire, and like everybody's cheering, and I can like see myself like over it, but I actually don't feel bad.
How do you feel as you're being, I guess, burnt?
I feel dignified. I feel like I'm in the right and they're the ones in the wrong, and that they're basically just like animals and they have no idea what they're talking about.
Just let your soul leave the body. Now you can see that whole life from a different perspective. Now that you're outside the body, do you get a sense now, or with a different perspective, what the purpose of that life was? Or was there a lesson that you were learning?
I think it has something to do with like coming into like my own power as a woman, because I just feel very, looking back to it, I just feel like my childhood was very lonely, but I felt like I wanted to like do something. I always wanted to be doing something, but I never knew what to do. And then when I became an adult, I came into a situation where where it's just very mundane yet again, like my childhood. And I just felt like I should be doing something, but I knew I couldn't really do anything because where would I go? What would I do? And so the only thing that I can do is to do something like within like my home area. I think I found a lot of like enjoyment in like helping those people, and then now looking back on it, those people kind of look like gypsy people. Like they had like all their stuff with them, and like they just seemed different. Like their hair was all like peppered, like gray and black, and their skin tone was just a little bit like olive or brown, and they were just different. I couldn't understand the language they spoke. They seemed just to be like very kind people that were just minding their own business, and that's why I didn't feel bad when I died, because I feel like I still did the right thing.
Wow. Just let yourself drift and float away from that lifetime. Drifting and floating away from that lifetime. And now can I speak directly with the part of you that knows everything about you? Can I please speak directly with Carol's higher self, the part of her that knows everything about her? Can I speak directly with the higher self? Do I have permission?
Yes.
Why did you show her that lifetime of all lifetimes? What did you want her to understand?
That was kind of like her childhood. That's how her childhood was. She was just kind of there doing stuff for everyone. Daydreaming about what more life could be.
So what do you need her to understand about that?
That she can literally do anything she wants to. The only thing that stops her is fear.
Would her life in that lifetime you showed her be different if she had not had fear? Or
Yes.
how would that life have been different?
She could have gone on to do anything that she wanted and really taking control of her life, and even set up to go live somewhere and just have a full life of her own, but she was too afraid to like go off by herself without a man. Because back then, you were only alone if like your husband died. Or you were just never married, but everybody usually is married.
Where did that life take place for her?
That was like, I want to say like even before the 1800s. And think way before that, when things weren't really developed. Didn't even have like telephones or TV or anything. Like all they had were books back then.
And could you tell her where that location was?
Seemed like somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe, maybe like France or Germany, or maybe even like the Netherlands.
Is there anything else about that life you want her to understand?
That life kind of represents the beginning of her journey, and that there was actually so much more to be experienced, but I guess she could only do all of that during that life because time just feels different back then, and it's really slow, and you just can't do much because there's not as much like resources or ability to. So that's all she managed to do, was to help those people back then. But I guess that's supposed to be like a metaphor of what she's supposed to do later on, or how much, but just maybe on a bigger scale.
Tell me more about that. In her current life as Carol, what is she here to do? What is her purpose here?
She's meant to help people. Like different people. People that are not the same from like regular people. There's a lot of people in this world that are like misunderstood. Or just have a hard time because they're different.
And how can she best help these people? What do you suggest?
She can help people by telling them her story. But then there's that fear that if she says a lot, but what if people don't believe her or they judge her for it?
What do you want to tell her about that? Is this something she needs to worry about?
She needs to somehow overcome this. Find a way to break through this fear. To really come into the full potential of life.
Can you look deeper into this fear? What is the very root cause? Where does this fear come from if you look to the very root cause of it?
She's had multiple instances where she was punished for her views and her thoughts. So there's always punishments. I think she's had a lot of lifetimes as females.
Does she need to have this fear of being punished now after everything she's been through in her current life? Does she need this fear any longer? Is it serving a purpose?
No.
So can you tell her, what would it be like if she was to stand into her power, her purpose? What would that be like for her?
It'd be like releasing something from the throat. There needs to be like a release somewhere from the throat.
Can you release this from her throat right now, since she has awareness of this? Since she has awareness of it, could you release it for her now?
Yes, but it feels very heavy on the chest.
Let me know when you're done. Could you start releasing it now? Okay. Can you release this fear from her so that she can fulfill her purpose here?
Her TikTok is stuck
Tell me about that.
on the date of April 15th.
Tell me more.
It's like, I guess at the ending credits, like every video you make, for some odd reason, that date of April 15th is just stuck there, always.
What do you want her to know about this?
It's meant to be a sign.
What is she supposed to understand about this sign?
It's symbolic because TikTok represents, like, in a sense, freedom of speech. For like the everyday person, it's a tool that can be used for good and for bad, but a lot of good can come from it. She first had this push to do it when she made her first video, and it's stuck on this April 15th date as a reminder of how important it is to open her mouth and tell her stories.
So how do you want her to go about opening her mouth and tell her stories? Is TikTok something you want her to continue, or is there a different way?
Yeah, that and like other related types of platforms are all useful. But she's always been this sort of like storyteller who always has had a history of like chronicling her life in like a diary sort of way. I guess in a sense, in a way where it's not as useful to like tell somebody directly something, but more to kind of like show it every day through little things, through little actions that then other people will then piece together to understand the story.
I see. So how do you want her to start?
Just by doing it, she needs needs to not care what other people think, especially men. She needs to just be able to stand her ground and truly stand by what she believes.
And what will happen if she does this?
She could become like a public figure. But I think she's also apprehensive of that. Because there's a lot of sacrifice that has to come with living a life like that.
What do you suggest for her?
I would suggest balancing it out and doing it in the best way that she knows how, which is through very structured storytelling. You don't have to say everything, just enough.
And do you want her to do it on TikTok, or do you want her to use a different platform?
TikTok and Instagram.
When do you want her to start?
Immediately.
Do you have any advice on how to start?
She just needs to not care, just do it. Don't think too much. Thinking too much kills actions.
And what will happen if she gets this off the ground and she becomes a public figure? Will she be happy about this, or what do you want to tell her?
I think it will give her a sense of purpose. I think it will make her happy because there will have been a purpose to have her gone through all that she's gone through.
Why did she go through everything she went through? Like, why did she have so much betrayal?
Sometimes there needs to be a balance in life. And when you're too far over on one side of the spectrum, naturally life just needs to balance it out a bit. And it's because naturally she's a very risk-averse person. She jumps before she thinks. Sometimes that can lead to like trouble. So these experiences were meant to teach her to self-preserve a bit. Because you still need to be alive to be able to do things. It's about playing smarter, not harder.
Has she learned all she needed to learn from these experiences? Do they have to repeat anymore? Or is she finished with them, with this learning?
She's finished.
Okay, good. why did she have that experience when she woke up one morning and felt like a different person? What had happened exactly?
She's supposed to help people, like the people in the book.
Tell me more.
She's always like identified herself as like an outsider, an outlier, so she knows how that feels. To be like mistreated and overlooked. Most people are not as strong as her. Can't handle these things. But this is why you have people sometimes in your life that help you do things that you're not able to do for yourself. I think it was like a full circle moment. Discovering back who she really was. Because only when she knows these type of things can she help people.
Wonderful, okay. So when she goes to help people, can you tell her more about her impact when she does this, like talks about her story? How will this affect people?
I don't think people are going to get it in the beginning. They're not going to understand it in the beginning. Until later on, more things happen. And then they start to connect the dots and they start to realize about everything that she was saying all along.
Why did what happened with Daniel happen? Was there anything she could have done differently that would have helped him, or no?
No.
Does she have any guilt surrounding it?
What?
If it was impossible for her to have done anything, does she need to hold on to this guilt now that she has awareness about this?
No.
Can you release this guilt for her now?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of Daniel leaving early?
There was no more he could do.
Was that his highest timeline? Did he have a different potential, or was he supposed to have that happen?
I think that was the best overall for everybody involved.
She was always wondering why she never saw him after he passed away. Why did she never see him?
Because if she saw him too early on, she wouldn't work through her traumas and her issues. She had to have that time to like reflect and think. If it had come too early, she wouldn't have realized it.
I see, okay. What about her new boyfriend? What do you want to tell her about her new boyfriend, Tim?
She's sort of an angel in her life.
Well, she's afraid of marriage. What is that something you would like her to do, or no?
I think marriage can be symbolic.
What?
Marriage can be symbolic. It doesn't have to be the traditional way. So if you think about it from a non-traditional sense, it doesn't seem as scary. I think actions speak louder than words.
Is there anything else you want to tell her about her boyfriend, Tim?
You're supposed to challenge her. To become this accepting person that has a very broad mind, very different viewpoints, not just to be pigeonholed into one way. You don't accept everyone as they are, because we're all different.
Is there any advice you want to give her on her relationship with him?
Let go of control, expectations. Just kind of go with the flow.
What about her best friend, Tiffany? What do you want to tell her about Tiffany?
It's also another angel in her life.
Have they had any lives before? Or no?
Yes.
Like what? Could you tell me about one of the most significant ones?
I think there's a life where one of them shows up as an animal. I think there's multiple ones. But they're always friends as kids. Always two females together.
What about in Carol's past lives? Are there any significant ones that are significant and affecting her current lifetime?
one where she's an Indian princess.
She's a princess.
Yep.
Tell me about.
Kind of seems like Aladdin, but in India.
Tell me a little bit about it.
She's very lonely. She's cooped up. Not much to do. Very restless. Kind of spoiled. Titled. Very much what you think the stereotype of a princess would be.
Is there anything else about that life that looks important?
She was not a very nice person. Kind of mean.
How did a life end for her?
I think she was killed. I think her father or the family was overthrown. I don't think they treated her very well after that because she was not a very nice person.
I see. In her current lifetime, what do you want to tell her about her business?
Just not worry so much. Everything will be fine.
Well, what about the outcome of the lawsuit? I mean, the outcome with the old business partners and their part of the business. What will happen? What will happen with those people?
Something's gonna happen. They're gonna end up eating themselves. And it'll just crumble from the inside out. I think it'll happen very fast. I don't think anybody's gonna really expect it. Because on the outside it looks really good.
What was the purpose of their betrayal to Carol? What was the purpose of all of that?
Greed and self-preservation on their part.
Why did they do what they did?
Because they felt bitter. I think they could have been upset because they knew that she was different. That she wasn't like them. And since she didn't join them, eventually they had to do something. that if she had joined them, she would have became them. The consequences would have been even worse.
Is there anything else you want to tell Carol about them? Okay. There's no need to think about them anymore. Okay.
They're no longer important.
So do you want her to continue with the business then that she has? Is there any advice you want to give her about it?
Definitely continue.
What did you say?
Definitely continue.
Okay.
Eventually it'll just run itself. And she'll be able to go on to do other things as well. She's not meant to just be stuck at a desk all day.
It's good to know. And you want her to start by telling her story on the platforms that you suggested.
Yes, that will lead to her figuring out what she wants to do next.
Good to know. Okay. What do you want to tell her about her children? How is her youngest son? Can you look deep into him and tell me how he's doing?
And she needs to be more empathetic. Because he's different from her. And she needs to learn how to be okay. He's not the same as her.
What do you suggest for Carol as far as what would help that relationship and help this her youngest or her son the most?
She already gave him the best gift by bringing Tim into his life. Because he understands him.
Is there anything else you want to tell Carol about her son, this son that we're talking about?
He has gifts that he needs to discover, or else if it just stays trapped in him, it's going to stay stagnant, cause a lot of issues in him.
And how can she help him use his gifts? What could Carol do to help this?
Expose him to more spiritual side of things. He'll resist at first. He won't get it, but one day he will. So you just have to keep planting the seeds.
Okay, it's fine. Go ahead. When you come back, you'll be easily able to go twice as deep. Right back into that state. Can I speak again with Carol's higher self, the part of her that knows everything about her? Okay, just have a few more questions. She's really curious if she will notice the shift and the change that's supposed to occur in her current lifetime.
What kind of shift? She experiences a lot of shifts. A lot in her normal life.
Well, she's wondering about the consciousness shift and the whole population experiencing some type of shift. Is this actually going to occur in her lifetime? Will she notice anything?
I think she's already noticing it. The shift is already happening.
Is there anything about it that you want to tell her?
More people who believe in one common cause, the stronger the cause. But there's only so much that you can say and do for other people. And just like the book, she won't know who she will be able to help, touch from her stories, and they won't even know until later on. You can't save everybody.
Because she said she felt like her purpose could be intertwined with this consciousness shift. What do you want to tell her about this?
Figure out a way to become influential, like a president, but not be the president. Presidents are controlled. So she needs to remain autonomous and have freedom. Because only then are you not controlled.
That's very helpful. She said when she was younger, she felt like she may have had an experience with extraterrestrials. What do you want to tell her about this? Did she, or was it something else?
Yes.
What type of experience did she have?
She remembers it just as she saw something in the sky. And then all of a sudden she was in the same place again. And it just seemed like a dream, but it's actually a trip during the nighttime. But her memory was resetting, so that's why it keeps getting stuck at that one part where she's feels like she saw it in the afternoon. But that was just when her memory reset back to.
Tell me what actually happened to her during this experience.
They brought her up.
What did they look like?
I think it was her family. Yes, that were like curious. They were curious about her.
Why? Why were they curious about her?
She spent a lot of time in her childhood astral projecting. Traveling to a lot of places in her sleep. Places that are hard for other people to go to. So they were just curious how she was able to do that.
How was she able to do that?
It's just second nature to her. She doesn't even have to think about it. Sometimes she does it in the daytime too.
And these beings that were curious about her, can you tell me more about them? What did they do during this experience?
Just like observed her. Maybe tried to like do some minor experiments with what little time they had. They couldn't take her too long with her memory.
What did they find out? Did they find anything out?
Not really.
What type of beings were they?
They seem to be ones that you would kind of picture as like stereotypical images of aliens.
Oh, okay. And
They couldn't really speak. They don't really talk.
and you said it wasn't her family. Who is her family?
I think a lot of her family are with her in this lifetime. Almost everyone around her has had lifetimes with her before.
Is there purpose behind this?
Yes. They're all meant to help her along like different parts of her journey. They actually all have a shared common goal that they're all working towards.
What is this goal that her family is working towards?
To help her with what she needs to do to help people. She can't do it by herself. She'll have a bigger impact with everything everyone else is creating around her too.
See? Is there anything else that you want to tell her that I didn't ask, that you want to tell her about anything at all?
To not be afraid of anything.
Well, how can she trust that she doesn't need to be afraid of anything? What do you want to tell her about this?
Nothing can knock her down.
Do you promise this for her?
Yep. Look at all the things that have happened. So far, she hasn't been knocked down. She's always been able to get back up. And so what could be worse than already the things that could have already happened? There could be worse that could happen, but those type of things won't happen to her. But those type of things can happen to other people. She can help those people.
Can you look deep into her body and scan her body and tell me how her body looks?
I think she doesn't want to admit it, but it's healthier to be more well balanced. And that might mean having a bit more weight on her. But it's hard for her. That it won't serve her to be the way she was. So she needs to heal her mind along with her body.
And what's the best way for her to do that?
Not caring what others think of her. Being more self-confident in her own right. And not allowing other people to dictate these things and inadvertently control her.
Moving forward, what advice do you want to give her?
She knows everything already. She just has a hard time trusting it because of fear. But literally, if she thinks back to any time anything has happened, she almost always has had thoughts that tell her the truth.
Do you have any final messages for her?
Whatever is coming, she'll be able to survive it. Because she needs to survive it in order to do the things that she needs to. Because she can be very impactful in new creations. She's really good at creating things, building things from scratch. This will be important in the future. Because it's hard to imagine it now.
What exactly is coming?
Everything will crumble and fall. Ideas, communities, way of living, and when history needs to be rewritten, maybe this time it'll be written by the good people, by the ones who actually tell the truth. And that can only happen when money stops having the value that it does in our lives today.
Well, if the financial systems crumble, is there any safe place to hold money? I mean, will everyone lose all their money, or will some people have some? And
Yes, needs to diversify. Definitely diversify outside of the United States. It's gonna be difficult, but things will still have some sort of value. Cash can still be used, but it's not a good means of storage of money at all. I would say everything that everybody wants to do now, they should just do it. Because you never know what's coming tomorrow.
when will things start to crumble?
It will majorly start to crumble after 2027. I think people will turn on each other. A very contentious time. It's gonna get really bad.
Does it look like there's a safe place to be located on the globe?
I don't think safe is relative. I think if you want to talk about safe like that, I think the safest places, well, places in Europe, places that have already stood still in time, in a sense, and are already shielded by certain things just because of where they might be locationally, like geographically located, how they've already been used to a certain way of life. I'm not sure if safe is exactly the goal for her. Abundance or things that have inherent risk. And she's always been able to balance that risk.
Will her family and her be safe? Like, will they be secure financially?
Yes, because they have some money. So they'll be better off than other people. And her business will continue to bring in money. When all the big companies fall, she'll still be there. So long as she keeps doing the right things. Meaning the good thing. And not trying to take shortcuts like everyone else.
What about taxes and the monetary system and the IRS and things like that?
I think she's going to fight them. She's going to fight the IRS coming up.
Do you have any advice for her on that?
Stay true to what is right. Just keep doing the right thing. And in the end, all the truth will be revealed. Come to light.
Just because I think she may be interested, what would you like to tell her about the 3-eye atlas, the upcoming comets? Is there anything that you want to share with her or no?
Try to see out of her third eye. She knows it all. She just has a hard time deciphering whether or not these are dreams or memories, or whether she just made it up in her mind.
What do you want to tell her about this?
Actually, everything she makes up in her mind actually ends up coming true. She's a sort of like storyteller in a sense. She can like weave her own stories. And because she believes so wholeheartedly in them, they eventually come true. And she tell other people these stories. And they believe in them too. And eventually, that becomes the timeline that we all go on. But this is a really hard journey because too many people are too different in this world. It might not be possible to change or to influence everybody. And that's why crazy things are happening right now in life. Because so many different crazy things have to happen. Because all those crazy things speak different languages to different people. To help all sorts of people understand different things. And that's why you see so many crazy things happening. You think to yourself, why are so many things happening?
Is there anything else about that you want to tell Carol?
We're repeating a cycle that we have once repeated before. But this time might be different.
Do you have any other advice on that for her? How can she make sure it's different?
By empowering the females around her. That's going to be the difference. We need balance. And right now things are not balanced. But sometimes you can't balance something like this. Sometimes you just need to start over from a fresh, clean slate. But there needs to be people there after the slate is clean to do the right thing where the same cycle repeats itself. That is what she is here for. To make sure that it doesn't repeat itself.
Do you have any final messages for her?
It's time to get out of the victim mentality and truly turn it into empowerment. There's going to be a lot of naysayers and people who go against her along the way. But that's nothing new. It's nothing that she hasn't faced before. She's just more aware of it now. But can't let that hold her back. Because it's not holding other people back. And at the end of the day, it's the people who actually do it that actually get to influence and make things happen.
Thank you very, very much. Now I'd like to ask the higher self